clearly this is an important topic, and it's not something we can solve or run at speed straight away. We need to learn. So I was actually destined to give you a presentation, but there's actually someone much better to talk to you right now, and that's Katie, because Katie's been doing a fair bit of work in this area and has been out to careers fairs and seen how it works. My own personal take on all of this is, yes, we have a problem with attracting young, bright people to our industry. Do they know what the corrugated packaging industry is? No. Do they know what cardboard is? Probably. Do they know what packaging is? Definitely. So I think we probably need a brand which is something like Careers in Packaging. And we need to start a movement, but we can't do it just as the SPA. We need to learn from other organisations who are banging the same drum, but from their perspective. And let's join forces, let's learn from them. So I'm going to shut up now, and Katie's just going to describe what we've learnt so far and our initial thoughts on how we might use that. So hopefully Katie's got a microphone over there. If not, I'll bring one over to you. Very good. I can click it on, yeah? You say advance, I'll click it, okay.
Has anyone attended a careers fair recently? There you go, there's one. Anyone? It's very, very different to this. I spoke to the organisers of the one in Guildford, and he said they have a footfall through the doors some months of 60 to 80,000 people, and this is mainly students, some with parents, apprentices, school leavers, people who are looking to get back into an industry. And there's an absolute buzz in the room, which is why I'm so enthusiastic about this, because it's a different kettle of fish for us, and this is a market that we've said that we want to be getting into. We need to get young people into our industry. So I just think 60 to 80,000 visitors a month, go through. School leavers, students, graduates, job seekers. It's really cost effective. If it's something that the SPA runs on behalf of its members, it's really cost effective. It's £400 for a table in a room with a couple of pull-ups. So it's not a big bill. This is essentially what it could do for us. So engage the people who are in the room. These are people who are just about to finish their degree, who are coming out of sixth form wondering what they're going to do, who are looking for apprenticeships and who don't really know where to go. So there's a lot of young people in the room. So I put together just really a sort of a brief scope on what I think the SPA could do on behalf of its members. I think we should brand it, as Tim says. It should be something else. Future in packaging, careers in packaging, think inside the box. There are bound to be ideas in this room for a better name. So first of all, do some preparation, do some branding. So brand as whatever it's going to be. It's not the SPA. It's not going to be as powerful if it's the SPA going in, because there's just going to be no connection with the students at all. So create a brand name. We need to develop a website with a simple overview of the corrugated industry, with a list of the types of jobs that you'll get within the corrugated industry. So we're talking about engineering, design, logistics, sustainability, sales. It's not the impression that from the students that we had in Daventry, it's cardboard boxes, what that? It's not all engineers on machines in a factory. It's a whole scope of different careers that people can go into. So a list on that website of what those careers are, what the paths are. A postcode search. So any student who goes to a careers fair in Guildford, who's actually based in Leeds or Liverpool, lives up there, they can look all around the country. So they can put in a postcode. We've got an interactive map, and on that interactive map is going to be all of our members. And it doesn't matter to them who that company is. If they can see around the UK that we've got 150, 160 people who've registered on this, then that's 160 companies that they can potentially send their CV out to or apply to. We'll also, ideally, and this will take some external advice, put on there a live jobs section, and that will link directly to all our members' websites. So we would have a link anyway on there. When they do a postcode search, they click on that postcode, it will take them to you people in the room, to your website, and then you need to have a decent careers page so that they understand what it is that you're offering to the local community. We will create marketing collateral. Everything has a QR code on it. Everything is done by a QR code. They all just go up with their phones. There were flyers, but they'd run out the day that I went, and they said, don't worry about it, just put your QR code on. That's all that the kids do. We put together an event kit, so we'd have banners branded as whatever the project name is going to be. We've looked at getting a gazebo if there are outdoor events, again, all branded up, tablecloths, pull-up banners, all the things that you see here around the room. A promotional video, as Tim has already said, and then we do need to have someone to oversee this and to put in a target for the first year. So even if it's attending 10 careers fairs, we're going to be getting a piece of that 60 to 80,000 a month. It's a no-brainer. It's a real no-brainer. So what we will be looking for is to match. There are 80 locations around the UK where they run these currently. There's about 133 already booked for 2026. So we'd be looking to match up, ideally a sheep plant, but if there's not a sheep plant that comes forward, then a supplier to the sheep plants in that region to partner up with us. And the responsibility, no monetary responsibility, but it would be to provide 2 youngsters who will be on that stand, because that's the youngsters want to come and talk to someone they can relate to. They're not, no disrespect to all of us, but they can't relate to the way that we see the world. So 2 young people on there, probably someone who is very much aware of any vacancies that you've got in your company at the moment. So 3 people on there. It's 4 hours. It's 10 till 2. Come along, and what we would guarantee on that day is that they will, any live jobs that they've got, they can advertise them on the stand, they can give out flyers. It's theirs. It's a joint venture. So these people will be able to say what they want to. So really, that's the idea. It isn't in place yet. We're looking at a budget for it. But the last thing I would say is if you're interested, if you want to be at these fairs, then please come and speak to myself or Tim or any member of the committee, because we will be looking to match up with just one organisation. It's not fair to say we'll have 3 sheep plants on the same day with their people on the stand. So there'll be 10 events in 2026, hopefully, and we'll be looking for 10 companies who will match up with us.
Fantastic. Thanks for that, Katie. Katie's done a lot of work in this area. Clearly she feels passionately about it, as the whole committee does. The important thing is that we don't go off half-cocked and throw some money at it and do it badly. What we need to do is have a plan. We need to talk to lots of other agencies. There are some people in the room who I've already spoken to today who are doing similar things for different organisations. Let's learn from each other, and let's ideally combine. I mean, I know there are initiatives for the print industry. Well, why isn't it careers in packaging and print? Let's combine ourselves. We're an industry. We convert paper into either printed or functional packaging. So we need to learn from others. There's no point every trade association going off and doing their own little thing. Let's see if we can get together, learn from each other, and do it well for our whole sector. So that's what your committee's tasked with. It's going to be a long burn, but we ask you to support this, and as and when we start going to these careers fairs, put your hand up, come along for 4 hours, bring some of your young staff. We'll start making a difference. We'll start educating young, bright people that there is a future in print and packaging. Okay, thank you very much. Delighted to move on to our next presenter. We're very fortunate tomorrow to be going on a tour of a £1 billion facility which is in build. Oh, is there one more slide? I do apologise. Oh, yes, before I get on to that, that's a teaser, isn't it? Let's talk about the Emerging Leaders Programme. We did, Neil touched on it in his presentation. Our first cohort are finished, effectively. They've just got to present their projects. Neil and I are going on our grand tour of the UK to watch our emerging leaders present their final year projects to their sponsors, to their employers, but also to us. And that will be the final part of their 2-year Emerging Leaders course. I'm proud to say that everybody will have passed already, but if their presentation and their project is particularly good, they are able to get a distinction, which will be something that they'll be very, very proud of. So we're ready for the second cohort. So it is a development program for future leaders within your businesses. It's a structured program of workshops. There are effectively 12 modules. So every conference will deliver one module, and then in between conferences we'll do a virtual module as well. So if you've got any young people within your organisations, you're committing them to attend 12 lectures effectively, which last about 3 or 4 hours. There are benefits for the sponsor, so the company that puts their emerging leaders forward. You develop talent, you improve retention, demonstrate commitment to your staff. and you'll definitely get your money back. The final project itself has to have a business outcome which saves or generates. Okay, so it's an investment not only in your people, but in your business also. And benefits to the participants, there are emerging leaders in the room today who are different people after this 2-year journey. There's one person in the room, and I hope I don't embarrass him by talking about him. He started off as quite a nervous individual, who's been working in my own business. He is now our production director because of what he's taken away from this 2-year learning. So he's been rewarded with a very senior position in my company because of this program. We probably would have done it as Dairy Pack, but it would have taken us a lot longer. So he's been fast-tracked into that position. So we've got some quotes from companies who've put people through. I'm not going to read them, they're all there. But let's just read a couple out. I've noticed growth in all our participants and think that the SPA Emerging Leaders Programme has been a strong part to play in this. All are showing more confidence when dealing with both their juniors and superiors, which is always a sure sign that things are going well. So the people who have put their young people forward are delighted with the outcomes. Most importantly is what the young emerging leaders say themselves. Okay, the Emerging Leaders Programme has unlocked many doors for me in my professional development, even after 13 years in the corrugated industry. So perhaps not the progression that individual wanted for quite a long period of time, but then has been supercharged by this program. Okay, I know who wrote this one. The being an ambassador module put me in a situation that I would normally shy away from. So that's going up to people they don't know, asking questions of people they don't know, standing up and presenting to people, totally out of their comfort zone. But in the process has helped me gain in my confidence hugely. So, the people who've been on the course love it. The sponsors who've put the young people forward love it, and they're seeing great business benefit. So what I do is I implore you to let us know who your emerging leaders of the future are and get them on the next course. Neil and I deliver the whole thing personally. So that's 12 sessions delivered by myself and Neil. And in each session, we ask someone of note from the industry to come and tell their story, right the way from when they joined the industry as a youngster to how they progressed and how they got on. So there's learnings from other people as well. So it's a bit of a pitch. Registrations are open now, but will close soon. So the process for signing up, we're going to have an information meeting for any companies who are interested in putting their young people forward, so they understand what the whole program is about. That is be on Thursday, the 13th of November at 12 o'clock. Okay, so if you want to come along to that, we will send a link to all Sheep Plant members. We need you signed up and the candidates deadline of the 28th of November. So we will close the doors then. If there's 30 applicants, great. If there's 12, great. If we get below 12, we may stall it until we've got a more viable number, but 12 is definitely the minimum people will take on this journey. SPA candidates briefing course. So for your young emerging leaders, they need to know what they're signing up to and whether they're committed. So we will run a meeting for them in December as well, which is what they're committing to and what they expect to get out of it. So they have the buy-in as well. Because there's no point putting someone forward if they don't want to do it. Okay? And we kick off the meetings in February. So Silverstone, we'll be doing our very first Emerging Leaders course. So the first module will be delivered at that event. Okay, so it's coming. So if you missed out this time, get your young people on this one.